Hey, hey, hey. What up, Big Dirk? What's going on, man? How you doing? All right. So, all messages are visible. Fuck it. Anyway, so how you guys doing? Yeah, good? All right. Um, I finally had the chance to actually listen to the panel O'Shea had when he had Cynthia G on and the other fellas. It was actually quite interesting, you know. Um, there are blame to go on both sides, and I understand the narrative. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, Big Dirk. So the problem that I actually have is, well, the whole purpose was what is black men doing to actually, as a collective, to rise above what's going on. But the thing is, right? If you wanna, if you wanna pair us up, as in black men and black women, every race or every ethnicity that has to actually elevate, they both had to work together. They both had to come to a conclusion, to a compromise, what each other roles are. So, and what I tend to notice when it comes to my people, I mean, Haitians would do it too. There's this, there's this narrative that we men are nothing but tools. And that has been a narrative that has been going on for so long, throughout centuries. And we have accepted that burden of self sacrifice for a while. But that also came with a reward. And the reward was always, all right, you are my responsibility. You are my woman, you're my responsibility. This is, you are under my protection. But you have to do something in return. And that return was respect. You know, you give me respect and I give you my all. You know, that's the whole romanticism behind the whole, like, the chivalry of men, the responsibility that has been bestowed upon us, and we actually take it as a badge of honor to actually be willing to lay down our lives for our women. But this has not been the case with modern women. For the past fucking 50 years or so, this has not been the case at all. And it gets to the point that men will now be, reverting back to our barbaric ways because of the fact is we're doing it as a defense mechanism, as a survival mechanism. To whereas, like, I saw a video the other day, right? And it was like a real quick one. Like, this chick was like, yapping at this, in front of this dude's mouth, right? You know how the fuck bitches do sometimes. And he throws something at him, and then for some reason this guy just, yeah, she throws something at him, and then for some reason this guy fucking lost it and just, like, slapped the shit out of her, threw her on the fucking ground. And I realized that I didn't feel bad for her. I mean, it was strange. Like, back in my sim days, I would have been the first to be like, oh, that's fucked up. You never hit a woman. You never do this. You never do that. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, there is no more gentlemen because there's no more ladies. You cannot have one without the other. Everything works in unison. The thing about nature, it balances itself out. And one of the things I noticed when Cynthia G was actually giving out her speeches, her monologues, is that she would make certain statement, right? And then when you actually provide a certain argument that would contradict what she's saying, then it's either get overlooked or it's never enough. And that is a trait that is very common with women with urban mindset. Is the fact that they always feel like nothing you do is never good enough. And one of the key things that I've noticed is when we ask her from a personal perspective, about what is she doing. And she automatically claimed that her personal life doesn't matter. But this is the thing, right? I agree to a certain extent. Her personal life doesn't matter. A lot of time, we tend to follow the messenger, but completely disregard the message. But the thing about it too, though, is if you cannot respect, yeah, that's true. She got daddy issues. I'm not gonna attack it from that angle because it's too obvious. It's too obvious that you could see the hurt in her face. You could see. What up, dog? So it's too easy to actually attack it from that angle because we all know that she got daddy issues. But let's take a deeper look. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good, Doug. What's going on? So if we're looking at it from a more psychological issue, is that is why her personal life matter. Because think about it this way, right? Let's say that you are Jesus the Nazareth. You're walking around. you're walking around, Jerusalem and shit like that, and then you preaching all that good talk about, the kingdom of heaven, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But yeah, you're fucking drunk. How seriously people are gonna take your message? So it's the same thing. If the messenger doesn't believe on his own or her own message, then how the fuck you expect people to believe your message? Too often, people want the world to change while they remain the same. And this is the effort that has been portrayed. Like when she said, as a collective, black men is not doing enough. But that's true. But I cannot answer for all black men. I can only answer for what I'm doing. I can only answer for how I'm making a difference. And also, if you're not willing to even the thing about men, right? The thing about men, why there's such a huge division when it comes to men and women, there's more of a unity when it comes to women. And I figured it out. Women, they hold strength as a collective. When they by themselves, when they stand alone, they can't. That's why at the beginning, a woman will always act as a liberal until she actually in a serious relationship, until she's actually secure in a relationship. Then she can now use the strength of her men to actually feel power, to be powerful. That's why she can actually now check other bitches about some of the dumb shit that they're doing. Have you ever come across a chick that she used to be a freak back in the days? And then when she's married and stuff like that, she's now criticizing other women that are acting hoish. But beforehand, yes, of course, women hate each other, but they know that without each other's strength, they cannot stand. So that's why the reason why it's so fucked up when it comes to the woman narrative, to the woman mindset, is because standing alone means that you get castrated from your group. You get thrown away. Men are more likely to actually walk away from a group, to be like, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm doing my own thing. We don't mind being the lone wolf, right? And those who actually have a problem always have to be in group. For the most part, they still have to deal with certain discipline, the certain fear of actually being alone. And we all had to go through this. When you were a teenager, you doing your thing. You feel like you cannot do nothing without your boys. And then sooner or later, you start falling apart because you start realizing, yeah, I am my own person. I am my own man. I can stand on my own 2 feet. I don't need your approval all the time. Certain shit I'm going to do, you're not going to agree with. And that is also one of the reasons why a lot of relationships fail. Because if, let's say, I have a problem with my wife, right? And then, I'm just let's say I'm bitching about my wife. I'm like, oh man, this bitch crazy. She's driving me nuts. And, I'm telling my boy that. And if my boy is for the most part, none of my boys going to be like, man, fuck this bitch. Leave her ass. No, they're not going to do that. They'll probably listen like, well, word? Damn, that's crazy, man. Listen, dude. You all right? You good? You good? You got this? All right. But for women, when they're actually talking bad about their men or they're complaining about their men, for the most part, the other chick would actually, whether she's right or wrong, the chick will always take her side, saying that, yeah, you're right. He ain't shit. He's doing this, he's doing that. And that's the problem that I have seen in the African American community. To whereas too many people in their relationship say that's why a lot of dudes run away, because they feel like I'm supposed to be the king of my house, right? I'm supposed to run this castle. But if I don't have any say in it, if every time I check you on your bullshit, you run to your sister's jumping in your business, your mom jumping in your business, and I feel like I'm being attacked by so many angles, despite the fact that you're wrong, but none of them gonna check your ass, then what's the point of me being here? And like, it's a lack of culture. It's a lack of training, and a lot of other cultures had the chance to actually grow up with two parents home. They see the men and women dynamic. They see how conflict resolution occur, and they realize grandma or grandpa, stay the fuck away from the family business. You know, the family, which is the wife, the husband, and the children. Grandma got no say in that. Grandpa have no say in the fucking matter because grandma's too busy taking care of grandpa. But in the black community, you know, the grandmama's single, the mama's single, and now they want the daughter to be single too. So now here comes the uphill battle that that black men have to face now. It's like, okay, you want me to be strong, you want me to be a leader in my house and stuff like that. And when I go out to the world, I have to fight, quote unquote, white supremacy. Right? But now when I get home, I have to fight you too. How long do you think that even the strongest black man, how long do you think he will be able to put up with that shit? You know? And that's why I think there's this huge epidemic when it comes to like men, you know, especially, okay, black men. They are unable to actually keep a family for long, to actually withstand a long-term relationship for a long period of time. Because it's not about the fight, because fight's gonna occur in every relationship. It's about the conflict resolution. If the problem cannot be solved, then it's gonna keep dragging over and over and over again. And when the thing that the men were saying in the panel is that, okay, you want us to do all these things, but yet what is your role to make that work? And that's when the goalpost always keeps moving. Well, it's not our job to do this. It's your job as a man to take leadership. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Choke a bitch till she respect me? I mean, you are gonna dial 911, right? What am I gonna say? Your Honor, she said that, you know, I had to be the man of the house, so I had no choice but to choke the bitch. Like, where's the logic? And I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't, no, okay, listen. Cynthia, when she came into the panel, she did not disappoint because I know how the female mindset works. It's like whenever you bring up, you cannot argue with women because that's a, how should I put it, right? Regardless of your point, she will not be able to see it. And she would always bring another issue that has nothing to do with the question that she asked. But what about this? The whataboutism. You know? I mean, one of the things she said, like, well, every time we point out, oh, you know, black men ain't doing something, you guys always got to point out, what about black women? Well, yeah, because if you want black men to remain with black women, then both of us have to play a part in the equation. So if you want me to do this, then you also got to do that. If you want me to actually take on leadership role, to actually be responsible, you then have to be able to be cordial to me at least. The level of disrespect, and I tend to see in the African American community, it's tragic, man. It's uncalled for. It's not necessary. You know? I'm not saying that, like I said, fight occurs, but the amount of how it happened, it's like, and when now you have a kid, now when you have a kid, she feel empowered because she feel like daddy government on her side. She got you by the balls. And that's why a lot of time guys end up giving up. They end up giving up on their children, and they now have the matter of fact, fuck it. They don't even have to be the one that give up on their children. Sometimes they get kicked out of the house. And actually, especially the more you try to see your kid, the more they actually use that as their advantage to make sure you don't see your kid. I mean, personally, no, my shit's in order. But I know people close to me that have done this. They move away, they take the children away from the dad, right? And the children end up suffering. But everything's the dude's fault, Even if they actually tend to admit a little bit of guilt, but they're just gonna twist it around to saying that, well, it's because of him I left. And it comes down to this. We're too fucking bored, man. We are too fucking bored because in a lot of different culture where the men and the women have to depend on each other, they don't have all that problem. Here in Poland, like I usually see young couples. They start off that like a lot of time you see couples. They for the most part they happen to be high school sweetheart. It's a culture that is very pair bond, to which that they don't have all that fucking issue. They don't have all that problem. They have problem of their own. Don't get me wrong. But when they are in public, they provide a unified front. Like the women, she let the men lead. They allow men to be men, cavemen and all. They're fucking men. They will not dare, degrade their men in front of everybody. They won't do that. And that's where body language comes in handy. Like I was in Lublin, right? And then there was like a group of us, we were talking. And then so me and my wife were both talking at the same time. So I just touched her hand. I'm like, hold on a second, babe. And she's like, oh yeah, no problem. And that's it. I didn't have to force my way into be like, yo, shush, I'm saying something. What the fuck, woman? I didn't have to do none of that. All I say is like, hold on a second, babe. I continue to say what I'm saying without interruption. And after that, she had the chance to speak. It's like, how fucking peaceful is that to know that when you go home or when your home should be a sanctuary. If you cannot find peace there, then where the fuck are you gonna find it? In some other bitch's thigh? And that's when I realized that a lot of time when black women, I don't, I don't want to talk about black women, right? But the thing about it is that it's hard to talk about the issues that black men face without bringing up the subject of black women. But because I have to respond to some of the argument, to some of the correlation that they make, even though they're not gonna fucking listen to my ass. I mean, shit. I'm an interracial relationship, so what the fuck do I have to say? According to many of them, I'm not black no more. But I'm speaking of the issues from observer's perspective, from somebody who actually understands certain characteristic of the social norm and to be able to provide a different perspective from the outside looking in. Because a lot of the time when you're in the middle of a bullshit, you don't see a way out. You don't recognize where you at fault and, where you're not at fault and, how the blame goes and stuff like that. Because I'm not saying that black men isn't at fault to a certain degree. Because the fuck happened? You think that was going to happen? You keep fucking with dumb bitches, you're going to get dumb shit. We're so fascinated by the big booty, by the, a little bit of sassy attitude. Don't get me wrong. Every bitch have a level of attitude within them. Every bitch have a level of attitude within them. But it got to be balanced. If you're going to give me shit, I'm also going to have to be able to give you shit. And we work that shit out. It ain't that hard, you know? And so what black men are doing to actually elevate ourselves to get out of the situation that we find ourselves in. Partially agree with Cynthia G with that. As a collective, we're not doing enough. But when you're taking at it from an individual perspective, right? The reason why I like the Negro manosphere so much is because you come across so many motherfuckers that define, that deconstruct the narrative of niggas and shit. Because you come across people that be like, oh, fuck. I guess there are people like you. There are people like me. We're not shit after all. You know, we're actually doing something productive. We're trying to do something to elevate ourselves. But before we were so segregated, every man was an island. And now you're looking at BGS, BGS Igmore. You're looking at, Save Yourself Black Men. We're looking at the Negro manosphere. We're looking at all these pockets of men. Some of them millionaires. Some of them are trying to elevate themselves. Some of them, we all try to do something to better ourselves. But the thing that pissed me off is when these bum bitches, they already give up on the dude that they claim they ain't shit. I mean, they still sleep with them. But they're not going to go to the Hotep channels. They're not going to go to all these other motherfuckers. The one that's screaming that, oh, you're a queen, you're a goddess. No, they already have this dude in their pockets. They want to come to the channels of men that's not paying them any attention and try to scream their rhetoric because they want to have more bodies. It's like the dudes that are doing that are elevating themselves, that is no longer willing to take your shit, are the most appetizing to them, are the most enticing to them. Because if they can convince these guys to cater to them, they feel like it's like another notch on their belt. Because let's put it this way, right? Have you ever seen the most simple ass niggas that's saying, oh, you queen, you beloved, you my darling, put this bitch way up in a pedestal? Have you ever realized that none of these motherfuckers are married? None of them actually have like a constructive family, to be like, okay, I have my wife, I have my women. I have my wife and my kids and stuff like that. We're going to make a strong family. With me and my wife and my kids, we're going to build a legacy together. No, they love using the black women are queen narrative to get pussy. That's it. They don't give a fuck. And it's like, and it's funny to me how they like to come across and try to shame other black men. That's like saying, no, I ain't putting up with your shit. But what about the community? A community is what you make of it. A community is the effort of the collective. Say that I'm doing something, I have a certain mindset, and I find other people with similar mindset, and we collaborate. That's why you have online communities. That's why you have in your own community. Can you address the historical facts Cynthia G got wrong in her arguments? When she talked about Martin Luther King, right? Okay, like the whole thing with because I'm still unfamiliar with certain historical facts when it comes to court documents, or when it comes to like certain history, African American history. Haitians are more familiar with that. But when it comes to African American history, anything I say about this can be debunked because I'm not too versed on it, And when you also think about it, what is history? His story. So therefore, history changed based on who's telling the narrative. Like, look at Bill Cosby. He will forever be known as a motherfucker who drugged bitches. And that might not be the case at all. So history is perpetuated based on the people that try to show a different narrative to make you believe on what you want to believe. That's why I don't go back all the way back to, oh, we are the way we are because of slavery. And none of us has been enslaved. None of us. All it is each generation try to undo where the fuck our parents fuck up. Some of us fail, some of us succeed. And then now we create a new narrative for our family, for our bloodline. And then our children can learn from our mistakes and do better than us. But if you keep using history as a clutch to where you're not to why you're not where you want to be in life, then you're always gonna have that excuse. You'll never be shit. So that's why I love history, but I don't use it as a reason why, we in this, we in that. So but let's take, for example, when Cynthia G talked about Martin Luther King, saying that because of Martin Luther King, we had like not segregation, but we had integration, and then therefore that kind of fuck up what black men started to achieve for themselves, or black people started to achieve for themselves. Partially agree with her, right? But this is the thing, right? We live in a system to which the majority is white people. And these motherfuckers are always on survival mode. They always thinking that they always see other people as the enemy. Duh, let's face it. It's like, if you want to wipe out the whole race, all you got to do is start fucking a whole bunch of white women pop out like brown babies. That will get rid of racism real quick. So when she mentioned that, integration, mind you, it was started by a black man, not a woman, a black man that was fucking a whole bunch of white girls. And I had a dream. One of these days, I'm gonna slay these white bitches and give them what the fuck our ancestor got. Yeah. Can't fault the man for that. But all right, now let's be more serious, right? Integration. So do you think in this country they would actually allow black men to be segregated and actually become a powerhouse to challenge them? If you, let's say, for example, right? I'll give you a perfect example. Take 50 Cent and Ja Rule, right? They were beefing. And then 50 became the victor, destroyed Ja Rule's career. And he gave him a pass afterward. He just ignored him because, Ja Rule was done. And then when Ja Rule came back with, I got 100 guns and 100 clicks, nigga, I'm from New York. And then 50's like, wait, I cannot let this motherfucker rise again. So what the fuck did he do? He not only destroyed Ja Rule again, he actually go after the people that were supporting him. So it's the same thing. It's a street move. If you're looking at it from a street perspective, I'm not street at all. So don't, I'm the least street nigga you will ever meet. Don't let these dreads fool you. But what I'm saying is this, right? Like, it's a strategic move because these are the motherfuckers who used to whoop their ass. You used to make them slave for you and shit like that, right? So if you let them rise, if you let Black Wall Street thrive, if you let a whole bunch of these shit thrive, then they become a threat to your system. So hence why they had to sabotage a lot of this shit. They had to. I'm not saying it's right. Of course it's not right. It's fucked up. Haiti's still getting fucked up from colonial power because Haiti has to be made an example. This is what happened when Black people rise together and actually get their freedom. See, they cannot manage themselves. Never mind, every 15 years or so, they go over there, they invade Haiti once again, or change the government, so on and so forth. But that's another story. My point is this, like, I understand where it's coming from. Like, when you read shit like The Art of War with Sun Tzu, and you can see the narrative, you can see where it comes from. That's why I'm not mad about this whole white supremacy shit. because it's crumbling. It's falling down from the inside. And the thing about it that actually irritates me is the fact that we're so focused on actually trying to generate a race war that we fail to realize that these motherfuckers are crumbling, right? Let's say they have the opium shit that's going on with them. Like the opium is like the crack era for white people, right? They're crumbling down. So instead of us actually working our shit together on the background so they don't pay attention to what the fuck is going on, but we try to actually bring the attention to us and be like, oh, these crackers and shit, this and that. It's like you bringing in the whole race narrative. So now they be like, wait a minute, motherfuckers, you sitting on your ass, you fucking getting welfare, and you keep killing each other, and now you try to fucking make it seem like we're the one doing this shit to you. You really want to see racism? Do you really want to see racism? I'll show you racism. We don't want that shit. Let's face it, a lot of these motherfuckers that talk all this revolutionary talk, they ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. They're not. They ain't gonna do shit. All they want to do is actually have like crash test dummies to send at motherfuckers. You know, like I was watching a podcast earlier, right? With this dude was saying how his mom and his sisters, they used to actually use him, try to make him fight. Oh yeah, opioid and infertility. That's right, Doug. And that's the thing, though. It's like we have to be smart about how we move it. And the thing is, success is the best revenge. Let me say that again. Success is the best revenge. People put obstacles in your way. That should not stop you. That should make you stronger. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. Like, look, in Haiti, right? I used to, we didn't have any running water in our house. So as a kid, I used to I think every 2 days I used to go and there was to walk about like a kilometer to actually, and going back and forth to actually fill the tank that was at my house. I used to do that like every 2 days. So a lot of fucking problem that I see, the oppression that you guys are talking about, I don't see it based on where I came from. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. The first time I had electricity 24/7 was when I came to the States. I'm like, when the fuck are they gonna cut the power off? What? It's midnight. They still haven't cut the power off. And then my uncle's laughing at me and shit like that. Be like, man, they don't cut powers off over here. I'm like, oh shit, for real. And that's the thing. That's why a lot of time when you see foreigners come in this place and they actually thrive, because they see the opportunity that other people that has been raised in that place missed. And I'm not saying that Black people don't find oppression. They do have it, but it's a caste system. It's a class system masked as race, and it is perpetuated that way because it's easier to control an environment that is divided, to control a nation that is divided. Divide and conquer. So we're fighting against white people. White people now are being, fighting against us. And the minute we actually realize that, wait a minute, we're not the enemy. It's these motherfuckers on top that's making sure we keep fighting. So then therefore we don't take into consideration the financial system that's fucking us over. A lot of the other shit that's fucking us over. But we're too busy fighting with each other to realize who the real enemy is. And when I hear all these white supremacy talk, and when I hear of all these, Black men and doing shit talk, like we're supposed to go out there, pick out guns and, kumbaya up in this motherfucker, it doesn't work that way. And these females that's egging you on are only setting you up to fail. They're only setting you up to fail. Because let's face it, you get killed on some dumb shit, they're gonna get the next nigga. You'll be all right. Because there's an army of simps ready to throw their lives down for these broads. And the reason why I feel like they're so pissed off about successful Black men. The success doesn't mean money. It means that you are happy with what you're doing and you're actually finding your identity with what you're doing. That's what success is to me. So then therefore you get to a position to which that you can move around in life. You can be at peace with yourself. and you can actually find ways to accomplish your goals without having extra obstacles put in your way. You know, Phil the Advice Show, when he was on Osh's channel and then he was talking like, you know, he went through his divorce and then that's when he started doing his YouTube. And his wife, well, his girlfriend then, saw the potential in what he was doing, right? Saw the potential in what he was doing and encouraged him to actually invest in himself. And I think the reason why African American chicks find it harder to compete when it comes to the whole dating scene is because they fail to see the potential in a lot of men. As a matter of fact, they learned that these potential were unattractive, you know, and it's not all their fault. It's not all their fault. There has been a huge propaganda war that propped up the Pookies and the Ray Ray were the sex symbols. I'm not going to deny that. But at the same time, where are you going to take a level of responsibility for your choice? You know, if I fuck with a Shaniqua or a Shanae or whatever the fuck case may be, and I got this bitch pregnant, how the fuck should I blame all black women because this bitch got me by the balls on child support? I can't. Because I let my dick dictate my choice. So we're trying to actually teach black men that pussy's not everything. Get your shit together. Doing this, doing that. So, and for these broad to come in this sector of YouTube to try to badmouth, oh, you niggas ain't doing shit. But you're looking at it like, okay, you like on your 30s, you probably single. I'm 90% sure that you're single. And if you are in a relationship, how long you think this motherfucker gonna continue to listen to you saying that shit? You know, to actually walk around with your nuts castrated, you know, your nuts in her purse. It's good you left the hood rats alone. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, I had to leave the hood rats alone. It's like, you know, and that's the thing though, like that's why I see the manosphere represent. It represents a father figure for all the dude. Hey man, listen, I love trolls, dog. You control however you want, my dude. I got much love for you, bro. And that's what I think the Negro manosphere represent. It represent a generation that didn't have the advice they didn't have the advice or the discipline of a father in the house. That's why it's so powerful. That's why the Negro manosphere, that's why you have Save Yourself Black Men. It's like everybody try to actually put the information they have gathered together. So then therefore the next can now spot the ain't shit women. They can spot them from a mile away. And they can also learn how to actually attract good women. Because there are good women out there, man. They're just hiding among the hoes. They're there. They're just hiding, man. Because you have to understand, like, women, they cannot stand up on their own unless they have the support, a strong support, either support from a group or support from a man. You think feminism would actually be anywhere if it wasn't like an army of men supporting it? No, it weren't. So it's like, these motherfuckers, they need us. They know they need us, but they try to shame us into doing their bidding. And we're the one that's saying that, no, fuck off. How about you go to these Hotep niggas down there? You already got them. Why you need us for? We're like a small minority according to you. We ain't doing shit. So how about you go preach that gospel over there that black men ain't doing shit. But we as a collective over here, we're doing something. And we're actually changing the mindset of young black men coming up and let them know that you don't have to believe that you ain't shit. You are somebody. You are somebody. Act like it. And I think that's why a lot of these dudes in the panel were getting irritated. Because it's like, wait a minute. I'm doing this for my community. I'm doing that. I'm doing so on and so forth, and then you want to come around talking about we ain't doing shit. What are you doing, Cynthia? It doesn't matter about my personal life, blah. No, actually, she didn't say it like that. Like, I'm trying to put on the bitch voice real quick. No, her voice was like very, I'm not going to go personal, but fuck it. She was saying like, oh, it doesn't matter what I'm doing with my personal life. Yeah, but you have to live the message that you're preaching. Isn't that the reason why a lot of people don't fuck with the church anymore? Because of the hypocrisy. They're preaching one thing but acting a different way. So that's the thing. It's like, yes, your personal life to a certain extent do matter. You know, put it this way, right? It's like, let's say that you guys didn't know that I'm in an interracial relationship, right? And I'm preaching all these black women are queen type of rhetoric and saying this, saying that. And then let's say a year later or when I'm popping off and you find out that, hey, wait a minute. This nigga is with a white woman. And he's talking that much shit. Man, fuck. You would have a situation similar to Phil the Advice Show. Don't get me wrong. I don't know the situation fully when it comes to Phil the Advice Show. Right. But people are going to try to use that against you. So if you're going to call me an asshole, fine. You might as well do it now because I love when troll to my comments. Oh, man. Oh, I love it. It's like, if somebody willing to have a conversation with me, no problem. We're both gonna treat each other with respect. But the second you start, you think I'm easy meat? Oh man, I got this bone for you to choke on. I'm not, listen, I love trolls because it gives me an opportunity to be the best asshole that I can be. Because it kind of, like, it gets my dick hard. But anyway, enough with the host, with this trolling. My point is this, right? So when Phil the Advice Show was talking about his woman told him to invest in himself. And it got me thinking, that's all the fuck relationship is. Because men, we have the drive. We have the ability to actually go to the unknown and explore and do certain shit. A good woman help us focus. A good woman help us realize the potential that we don't even see that we actually have within ourselves. And if you don't have that by your side, it's very hard for you to remain organized. I'm not saying it cannot be done. But I'm saying though, it's like, if you're working hard, if you're working your ass off, why are you doing it for? What is your purpose? A good woman helps you find your purpose. You know, it's like, if you try to work hard, you try to be rich, so on and so forth, to, you know, so you have more access to higher class pussy. But you're always going to have that insecurity that, is she with me for me or is she with me for my money? I'm not saying it cannot be done. But we need to stop focusing on sex as if like it's what defines you as a man. Everybody likes to get their freak on. Shit, no problem. But when it becomes your priority, then it can easily be used against you. Look at Cosby. This motherfucker built a fucking empire. All it takes is some random hoes to bring it down. Think of where you want to be in the future and see if your action will not be your Achilles heel in the future. You want to build black family, build black strong family, or strong family, period. I don't focus on the whole color shit. And I don't think that, you know, all black women are this and all black women are that. No, there are always exceptions to the rules. You know, just like a lot of white women ain't shit neither. But there are exceptions to the rule. It's all on the mindset. It's all on the, what are you willing to achieve? And if you want to build something that will last for like, you know what drives me? My grandfather. I remember how he started. I remember him. That was my father figure. Even though like my daddy was a great caretaker, you know, He was in the state. Always make sure that we never go hungry. Even through all the bullshit that used to go on in Haiti, he took care of us. And dude, there was like 3 families. He had like 3 baby mamas. This motherfucker worked 2 jobs to make sure that all of us were fed. So can I ever be dared to say that my daddy ain't shit because he wasn't around? No. I didn't starve. I'm here. Thanks to him, I came to the States and now I have the opportunity to actually go to Europe. Dude, I'm in Poland right now for 3 fucking months. You think that would have been possible if my dad was like, man, fuck this shit. These women are sweating me. I don't give a fuck. No, he might not have been the best husband or the best partner, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. He was an awesome dad. My mom, with all her flaws, she was an awesome mom because I am the way I am because of the way she was. So I try to see both sides of the equation. And it's not about victim blaming or, shaming this and so on and so forth. It's all about you recognize what the fuck your parents did and how they went wrong. And you try to actually make sure that you don't repeat the same mistake they did. I see how my dad struggled with raising 3 families. I saw that. So what the fuck do? I make sure that I don't just go pop my seed all over the fucking place. Oh, this bitch look fine. This bitch look fine. For what? So I could spend the rest of my fucking life working just to support like 3 or 4 families? Or when the pressure gets to me so much, I just like fucking drop it all and just disappear? I didn't want to be like a deadbeat dad. So I put myself in a position to which that I didn't have to do that. Feels a hypocrite. Dirk, I don't know the whole story. Like what's really going on? Is it like, because I heard from Super Slide that a lot of time because he was try to, I guess, shame black men when it comes to interracial, something like that. I don't, well, what's going on? Tell me, bro. So, because I don't really listen to Phil the Advice Show. I mean, I've seen his comment a couple of times. And that's why it's important to try not to portray yourself somebody that you're not. So yeah, I know I'm an asshole. I know I'm a sarcastic prick. But I can also be logical. And I like when people challenge my point of view. I like when people challenge my thought process because it helps me elevate and it also helps me see a different side of the spectrum. There's 3 sides to every coin. You have your perspective, my perspective, but the truth often rests on its edge. First, Phil was like Tommy. Then he went super pro-black and spoke out against interracial couples. I swear to God, man, if my white girl ever leave me, I'm fucked. No! This bitch fucked me. Oh. See, and that's the thing, though. It's like, see, from the experience that I talk about, like when I talk about the urban mindset, right? Women that has that urban mentality. It's not solely based on personal experience because, I don't know, maybe since I was a kid, maybe I was always attracted to white girls or maybe I wasn't quote unquote strong enough for them. So it's just like, I was always curious about different culture, right? And that curiosity helped me to actually explore certain genre of music, certain, food type, whatever the fucking case may be. Like, I was the motherfucker that used to fucking, like, listen to Linkin Park and, Green Days and rock and roll shit, And then when my cousin would get in the car, when I pick him up, I would just quickly change the station to like 50 Cent or something like that. Hey, what's up, my nigga? What's good? Yeah. And after a while, you like kind of got tired of it. You're like, yo, what the fuck am I doing this for? And then he will get in the car and be like, yo, what the fuck are you listening to, bro? I'm like, you don't fucking like that shit? Good. You're gonna learn something. You know? And it's like a lot of time, right? We're trying to be somebody that we're not. And that come across being deceitful. And I think that's one of the reasons why I seen a lot of dudes, right, when they used to try to holler at black chicks, they put the bitch in the pedestal so fucking high, it gets very tiring to try to maintain that facade for a long time. And that's like, yo, what's up, man? What's going on, queen? Oh, man, damn, you look fine as fuck. And then, the bitch would like try to slap him on the, boy, please. No, I'm just saying. Like, you hear the lyrics. So they feeding these bitches all these things, right? All these stuff, like make them, like, dude, I had one of my cousins that tell a bitch, I would take a bullet for you. He was just fucking her. He wasn't doing nothing serious, but he made the bitch believe that he would go to the end of the earth for her. And you think that you don't think this bitch gonna be bitter after she find out, like, you fucking not only her, but her best friend and her mama and her grandmama. Come on now, let's be real about this shit. It's like, and that was one thing I had discovered, like, growing up. I'm like, yo, I get a lot more play when I tell a bitch you fine as fuck, I just want to hit that, than when I was lying to all these bros. I mean, granted, it worked on white girls more than it worked on black bitches, but maybe that's why I was, hey, listen, man, I know how to hunt nobodies. So my girl just gave me that look right now. It's funny as fuck. I love you, baby. So, and that's the thing, like, we have to be honest. Like, I was honest about being dishonest, right? So, and the thing is, like, but when you get to a certain level, when, like, you have to state what is your intention. And if you don't state your intention, like, dude, women will make up any fucking stories in their heads to justify why they fucking with you. It's like, I'll change his mind. I'll do this. I'll do that. And then next thing you know, the bitch slash her tires, doing all that shit. All because she couldn't control that dick. That's why you learn who the fuck you messing with. You don't fuck a bitch just because she got a fat ass. Yes, exactly. You had to be fucking straight up honest, man. That's right. And so going back to Cynthia G, right? It's like, I can see the bitch is hurt. I don't know who the fuck hurt her, so on and so forth. Because I guarantee you, like, broads that are in a relationship, like in a good relationship, don't got time to worry about what the fuck other black men are doing, this and that. No, they worry about what the fuck their men are doing. I'm not saying that women cannot be leaders, but there's a price to pay for everything. There's a sacrifice to be made for everything, But the thing is, you cannot keep blaming others for the sacrifice that you're making. And it kind of feels like she's trying to generate her past. The look in her eyes, you could see, like, damn, somebody really fucked you up. But because that, all of us, right, especially, we are very matriarchal. So it's very hard to actually admit that where our mothers fucked up. So it's always easier to blame the motherfucker that's not there to defend himself. Okay, yeah, his daddy was her daddy was a crackhead and stuff like that. Did her mother get with the dad when he was doing drugs? Or was it something that happened after they got together? It's like everybody have a role to play on how they turn out in life. You might not have had any choice when you were a kid, but as soon as you were able to do certain things for yourself, then it becomes your responsibility for your happiness. I bet money she got cheated on for a white woman. Dude, you know what's funny, right? It's like a lot of dudes, that are in interracial relationship is that a lot of these guys often get overlooked, right? Like, take a motherfucker like me. I'm not the type that try to impress bitches at all. You know, dressed up, whatever. Shit, I even wear paler shoes. None of that bullshit. I don't give a fuck for brand. I know when to dress for the occasion, but I don't let brand names or like looking rich just to actually impress bitches, right? So then, motherfuckers like me will always get overlooked. Will often get overlooked until you hear me speak with confidence. And then that's when you're like, okay, something odd about him. You know, like I know how to use my charm to get my way. Right? That's not a problem. But when you're in a relationship, you gotta know how to hide, man. Cause these bitches are trifling. You know? It's like they find out that, you know, you're married, you travel, you do this, you do that. You become a challenge. They're gonna find out, are you serious about your relationship? What can I do to give this motherfucker some ass? And, you know, just to actually have that thought process that I was able to, you know, to take him away from his white woman, you know, and that's the bigger challenge for them. And the thing is, like, why should I put myself in this situation to which that I have bitches throwing pussy at me all the fucking time? No, fuck that. No. And the thing about it was like, listen, everybody gets tempted, right? But the question you got to ask yourself, like, how is this bitch going to make my life better? How is this bitch going to help me improve my situation? Because we got to start asking questions the same way bitches used to ask questions about us. What can she do for me? And if you're too busy thinking about your dick, and that motherfucker will get you in trouble anytime. Put it this way, right? Say that you try to, you know, you try to finish a project, you know, you concentrating on something. And then you're like, oh, I gotta fuck this bitch, man. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You watch your porno, my nigga, all that shit goes out the window. You be like, man, I don't even know what the fuck I was tripping. And I'm telling you this because we need to start having control over what the fuck we do. Because if we need to create something for ourselves, we gotta sacrifice a lot of shit. Pussy's like a revolving door. It comes and goes. But when you build something for yourself, you build a legacy, you build something that would last a long time, long after you're gone. That's how the fuck you elevate the Black community. That's how the fuck, fuck it, that's how the fuck you elevate your family. Because I don't belong in the Black community. But I belong in the community that I set up for myself. When I come across like-minded people that actually can think in a logical sense, that actually have the intellect, that's able to actually disagree with me respectfully, that's able to actually network with me. That's my community. All these motherfuckers, I don't know them, I don't owe them shit. And they don't owe me shit neither. You think they give a fuck about my struggle? I could have been a dope dealer. I could have been a con man. I could have been a fucking hotep motherfucker. I chose my fucking path to be what the fuck I'm at right now. My choice, my decision, and therefore the reward that I'm reaping has to be shared with the people that helped me get there. Not the people that actually think that I owe them shit. I don't owe the Black community nothing. You don't owe the Black community nothing. You owe it to yourself to be somebody. And you owe it to yourself to be around people that helps you elevate, not negativity. All these bitches I want to come across saying that, oh, you ain't shit, what are you doing for the community? All they try to tell you is that, what are you doing for me? Because all that talk about, like, you know, I'm strong and independent, I don't need a man. You're right, you don't need a man. You don't need me neither. So what the fuck you bugging me for? Do shit that helps you elevate yourself as a human being to put you in a better situation. America is a fucking whore. You use that bitch. You make that bitch work for you. It's like every other culture that comes to America know what the fuck it is. It's a place to which that you make your money, you fucking elevate yourself to the best you can, and you get the fuck out if you can. Everybody knows this shit. But African American feel like, we need a hug. We need the white man to like us. Fuck that. The only people I want to like me are my people, my family, the friends that I chose that also become part of my family. My best friend, he's like a fucking brother to me. Like if I ever got an issue or something like that, I have an emergency, he's the first one to call. My cousins, like these motherfuckers are there for me. My wife, my daughter, these motherfuckers are there for me. And that's the people I owe my loyalty to. All these, why the fuck should I owe loyalty to some bum ass bitch that's like, that can help me do shit? For what? And we need to get out of that mindset that, we're going to fight this fucking war that's going to put us to the top of the white man. And then what? And then what? So what? They can, now, okay, black man, you done what you need to do. Now I'm going to rule this shit. You sit back. How the fuck you going to, fight white supremacy when we can't even rule your own house? Food for thought. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate it. I'm glad for the likes as well. So yeah, Arbanaka, like, share, subscribe. Definitely subscribe. All right. And and share my shit. Comment. I love your comments. All right. I'm out of here. Peace.